Hey, I'm back again. Whoa. Put the flippy down. This video is going to be about how to find peace of mind. Okay, how to find contentment. How did I learn this? I learned this from watching my mom, from watching my dad, and other people in my life, what they did when they got in the latter part of their life, where they did and what they kept searching for. Okay? And so I want you to understand that we are always searching for things. Okay? And the number one thing we're always searching for is contentment, or peace of mind, safety, security. But I'm going to go with contentment. My mom, I'm going to use that as an example. When I use this as an example, you'll understand what I'm talking about. My mom was in show business for many years. She worked with a lot of famous people. And in one way, I kind of wish she would have stayed in show business, because I got into it later on when she retired. And if she hadn't retired, I might have been had a different path. Okay, because my mom worked with a lot of very famous people out of New York. When the war was over, the Second World War was over, my mom was in her, I would say, early 40s. And she decided to remarry. Maybe she was in the late 30s, early 40s. Let's say late 30s. She decided to remarry. But anyway, what I'm getting at, she used to drive, she lived in New York City. She used to drive out to Long Island. And she'd drive out to Long Island, and she was looking for a piece of property, like a farm. And all of her life, she always seeked that. She wanted to get away from the hustle bustle, show business, being in the city, and the rat race, and all the stuff that comes along with it. So she always was seeking contentment, and she found it. She found a small place in Huntington, Long Island, right off of Oakwood Road, which is an old farm. And there's been talk that it was the old Walt Whitman family owned it years ago. I can't prove that. I think it might have been, because the house is over 100 years old. And Walt Whitman had lived in a number of different places on Long Island. Actually, his residency that they have now in the museum is in Melville, Long Island, which is not too far from Huntington. But anyway, there was indications that the home was owned by the Whitman family. Well, it was up for sale, and she bought it. And she had her apple orchards, and she would make cider, and she had a little farm, and she had some cows and this and that, whatever. And she remarried and had me and my sister, and then eventually we moved to Florida. We ended up living in Clearwater. But she always missed that contentment. She always missed that peace of mind that property brought her. Because when we lived in Clearwater, we lived in the suburbs. We lived in a typical, neighborhood. We had kids and bicycles and all that stuff. So she ended up, and I don't think she did this intentionally. I think it was unintentionally, because subconsciously we always are looking for peace of mind and contentment. And she found some property in Tarpon Springs, off of Lake Tarpon, which is in Florida, which is on it. You guys are not from Florida, which is on the west coast of Florida. It's north of Tampa. And she found 48 acres, and she bought the property. It was just nothing but woods. Long story short, we ended up clearing the land, turning into a farm. And I grew up in my latter years, my tween years, in my 20s, even into my early 30s. They had that farm, and that was the family farm. And my mother was very at peace living there. My father, okay, how did he find contentment? He always told me when he wanted to go hunting, he would go hunting all the time. And I'm not a hunter, it's not my thing. I never went with him, but he wanted me to. But he would go hunting, and that's how he would get away. And he'd come back, and he always said to me, Someday I'm going to buy a piece of property like up in Georgia or North Carolina, and I want to build a cabin with my hands. You call me Johnny. Johnny, we're going to build a cabin maybe along a creek or something. It'd be so cool. And that gave him contentment. That dream about having that cabin. Well, lo and behold, he never got to do that, and yet because things were so busy, he was so hectic, raising his kids, running the farm in Florida. But we had property. And so what did he do? And this is a subconscious thing to find that contentment. He ended up building a cabin like he saw in his mind, like he saw when he used to go hunting. He ended up building that cabin on the back piece of property by the cypress swamp. He ended up building a cabin that he could just go to. He put his antiques in there. And then, why I'm saying all this is this. You know where your contentment lies. You know where your peace of mind is. It's not about finding it. It's about accepting it. Okay? My father finally accepted his peace of mind, and he knew what he had to do to gain that, and he built his cabin. My mom finally accepted what she had to have peace of mind and contentment, was property, land, and a farm. And what's interesting is I'm a lot like my mom. I look like my mom more than my dad. But internally, I'm a lot like my mom because I want the same thing. I want property. I want land. I want to be connected to nature, and that brings me contentment. Even thinking about it, even going through the process in my mind of what that land would look like. We'll have running water on it. We'll have a lake on it. We'll have seasons, and the trees change color. That brings me contentment. That brings me peace of mind. To me, okay. So I know they didn't really know. They didn't really say, I know exactly what's going to make me happy. They didn't know that because they were living in a different generation, in a different world. A lot of people don't know that, but actually you do. If you sit down and you peel back all the stuff that's going on in your life, your family, your wife, your husband, your children, your work, all the stuff that you do, and just peel all that back and say, what would make me really content or happy? And you'll get the answer. It will come to you. Go, that's where I want to be. That's what I want to do. I try to explain that to people that never had they don't think they have a vision. They don't have something they really love to do. I love to play guitar, and I love to sing, and I love to perform. I mean, it's just in me. It's in my blood. But people that don't have that don't understand that. They go, well, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to be broke and be running around in an old beater car and trying to get a gig and not making much money? Because it gives me contentment. What I find that when I'm on stage, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. It doesn't matter if I'm acting in a play, or I'm doing stand-up comedy, working an audience, or I'm singing a song. If I'm on stage and I've got that connection to a live audience, or I'm doing a lecture or speaking about my philosophy, it doesn't matter what it is, but that brings me contentment. So let's go back to my mom again. My mom found contentment like I do, with being in front of people and doing that thing. She found contentment in performing. She was a dancer. She was a singer. But she lost that, okay? And she had to find another avenue for her peace of mind, her contentment, and that was having a farm, having peace of mind. So you too can find this. It's in here. You have that. It's in you if you just close your eyes and focus on what really makes you happy and what is keeping you from gaining that happiness, what's keeping you from achieving that contentment in yourself. Then you'll figure out a way to get it in your life. It's not, I know I say this a lot, I'll say it again. It's not rocket science, okay? And the things that we all strive for in our society don't bring us contentment. It's not money. It's not wealth. It's not even love. I mean, love is a shared thing, okay? The love for something, a love for a pet, or a love for someone, or being in love for somebody, that's a shared pleasure. That's a shared desire. That's a shared thing that we have. But that doesn't bring you contentment. That can bring you resolve and bring you happiness. But happiness is not contentment. Happiness can be fleeting. Happiness can be, oh, I just had a milkshake, I'm happy. I had a Burger King. I had a burger, Oh, yeah, I like Burger King better than McDonald's because they actually put lettuce and tomato on the burgers. I mean, I went the other day and, I got my teeth worked on and I was kind of celebrating because, oh, I'm happy. I got my teeth fixed. So I went and had a couple slices of pizza. It made me happy. Inside, internally. It's not contentment, but it's momentary. It made me happy, okay? So all this aside, yeah, we want to be happy. And we want to be at peace with ourselves. But you won't get peace internally until you discover what will bring contentment to you and discover how you can get that contentment on a regular basis. And then you will live a better, a serene life. Like, I'm really happy, I can go out in my front yard and sit in a bucket and pull weeds, and I'm content. It's not happy, it's content. It makes me at peace with myself. Like I'm with nature, And the other thing I noticed about my mom and about my dad and about me, contentment only comes through nature. It doesn't come any other way. So no matter what you try, you can buy a big boat and go out in the ocean, and you can be happy and you can be wealthy and you can have that big boat, but you won't be content until you get that island. And you look at that island and you go, I'm home. I'm not home on a boat. Boat's always searching. It's always going somewhere. I'm not home on a mobile home. You're not happy in a mobile. I mean, you're happy in a mobile home, but you're not content. The contentment comes from the journey. The contentment into you comes from the destination. And when you get there and you go, yeah, I'm at the Grand Canyon, look at this view. I'm content. I made the journey. I got there. So it's not ownership. It's partnership. Okay? Contentment comes with partnership. Happiness, contentment, and resolve doesn't come with ownership. Ownership just brings you frustration. No matter what you own, no matter how much you own, there's billionaires out there that have got more money than they need to have, and they're not content because it's just money. It's ownership. Ownership doesn't bring you happiness. You can have shelter. I mean, I'm content right now sitting in my studio, looking out the window at the park, doing this video, okay? But it's short-lived, okay? So you want to try to discover that long-term contentment. How do you get that? And you know how that is. You know where that is. And it's only through nature. And so if it's you buying a piece of property or going somewhere and being in nature, that will bring you that contentment. Like I said about my mom and my dad. I just wanted to share this with you because this kind of hit me the other day when I was leaving the gym, and I thought about my mom. And I thought, she was very happy. She wasn't all bottled up about stuff and worried about bills and worried about stuff. She was very happy being where she was. Contentment also comes with looking at your past and settling with it. Settling with your past, saying, well, I screwed up there, but I'm here now. And always remember Emerson's compensation. I talk about Emerson's compensation in my book, Common Point. Compensation is really, really, really simple. You can't have both things. You can have one. And you have to take that journey. You take the path to the left and the path to the right. And sometimes the path you take might not be the path you thought you should have taken, but you took it. But you can't go back and change it, okay? So you need to be content with what you did, okay? I love you guys. I'm going to leave you with this. You can find contentment. Dig deep and follow what brings you that contentment. Not what brings you happiness, but contentment. They're different, okay? See the difference. See the difference. Real quick, I'm going to start doing Common Point meetups. I just got done incorporating Common Point. It now is Common Point Philosophy, Inc. It is a regular corporation registered in Florida. You can look me up. It's not a nonprofit. It's not a church. It's a philosophy. I'm going to start doing meetups, hopefully once a week. I would love you guys to come and listen to me speak on many subjects. A lot of it is going to be out of my book about, life empowerment and how to have a better life and how to live a fulfilled, content life. I'll be speaking a lot of that. There is not going to be a charge to come hear me speak at these particular meetups. It's going to be free, but we are going to take donations. And if you want to be generous or leave $1, that would be great, because that money is going to go towards building utopia. I am going to buy some land or a small farm. I'm going to go back to the farm again. Not sure where, most likely on the East Coast of the United States. And we are going to build utopia, where you can come and you can just unplug and relax. And you're going to have to leave your cell phone at home. Well, locker it when you get here, okay? When you get there. So, also the book is done. The Understanding Life Empowerment Through the Common Point Philosophy, that book is done. And I'm getting them printed. When I get a stack of them, or when they deliver them to my office, or deliver them to me, then I will start doling them out. There's a number of you guys that are going to get free books because you've been very supportive over the years. And it's taken almost 20 years to write this book. So you will get a free copy, but I need to know who you are. Email me. Either email me at commonpointemail@aol.com or johntenuto@email.com, or get a hold of me on Messenger, on Facebook, whatever. Just say, John, I want a damn book, and I'll save you one for the ones that I'm going to give out for free, okay? They're not going to always be for free because it costs money to do this. I'm kind of settling on a price of $40 for a book. That's with shipping and handling, okay? This is not going to be some little about Johnny book. This is a serious book, a couple hundred pages book about the Common Point philosophy, and it's a guide as well. It's a workbook and it's a guide to get you into all that. All right, I'm done. I'm good. Check out my other videos. Check out my music videos, my immersion videos. Listen to them while you're studying, whatever. Pass the word. Hit the damn subscribe button. I keep burping, sorry. Hit the subscribe button right there to subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe, okay? So I can get my numbers up and watch my other videos, okay? Love you guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye now.